Hello, we are Group 4 under HCIP. We are Chris, Abby, and Tyler. Today we're going to be talking about our electronic health record database for our project and applied databases. So in our original design, our focus was on patients, clinicians, analysts, and the billing departments. We first thought it would be a great idea to show the different angles of an EHR system through the eyes of the front end. When the patient first registers into the system all the way to the back end, when the patient gets a bill from their visit. But in our final design, we'd shifted our focus. Instead of having so many focal points as we originally intended, we had narrowed down our focus to mainly the patients, clinicians, and the analysts. So we realized that including the billing department was not necessarily in the mindset of what was needed. So as you can see here on this first screen, this is a copy of our coding for our database. I don't want to go through the whole thing since we need to show the functionality of the procedures we created. But this is a little over 340 lines. The next tab is the data we loaded into our database. The diagnoses, the symptoms, and the procedures for the patients came from cms.gov. The medicines came from FDA.gov, and all the names were randomly generated through a random generator on the internet. And the patients were only created for November visits alone. So in this next tab on the procedures we created for our EHR model, there were 3 analytic solutions that are going to be provided with this model directly out of the box, with the ability to add additional functionality at a later date. These functionalities are in the form of stored procedures that can be called from a SQL query tool against the MySQL database. Each procedure has 2 inputs that will allow the analyst to specify the start and end dates for the underlying query. The dates must be entered in the format of year, month, and date, because allowing the user to change the date in this way prevents them from the need to have a strong SQL knowledge and from diving into the code to make the change themselves. So our first procedure is one that performs a query which returns the patient volume for each member of the nursing staff by visit date. This query will allow the business to focus on their staffing models more than worrying about creating reports. In this staffing procedure, will return the staff ID, full name, visit date, and the count of the patients that the individual saw during each day. When we run this procedure for the month of November, get a list of the random names, various dates throughout the month of November. These are the nurses. These are the patients of the nurse they saw each visit date, as you can see here. And the second procedure is one that presents the data in a way that shows the most frequent procedures that are being performed in the clinic. This will allow the business to do a deeper dive on their resources, as well as a potential community outreach program to prevent visits before they occur. And now we're going to run this procedure. In this procedure, it returns the diagnosis code, the diagnosis description, and the count of visits for that specific diagnosis. There. Then our third procedure, which is our final one, this performs an analysis on the patients in which the clinic is subscribing narcotics. It's trying to find patients that could potentially be abusing narcotics. This query will help administrator identify patients who may be frequently requesting or being prescribed these narcotics as well. And when we go down here, run this procedure, get the most common result for patient 185. The patient ID of 185, they have the medication description, and they are given a total of 3 prescriptions throughout the month of November. And this, again, is just to try to perform an analysis on the patients that could be possibly abusing narcotics. This is the end of our functionality demo. And thank you so much for listening.